that our grandmothers or our grandfathers went to. A lot of institutions outside of the country, you find that, there's legacies. Children, sons go to the same schools their fathers and their mothers went to, because the quality of those schools are still the same. But we can't say the same for our own situations, at least not until recently. We have very few schools like Corona that my older sister went there. I have friends whose children go there now, and the quality of the school has still, the standards in the school have still been kept up, and that is because people recognize the importance of sustainability. So business leadership is important. It enables you to look into the future. It enables you to think about what are the structures I need to put in place to ensure that my business is here and is standing and is relevant in the next 50 years, beyond providing a source of revenue for me. Can I leave a legacy for someone? Because the true test of a leader is the capacity to replicate yourself in others and the capacity to ensure that your business outlives you. So succession planning, ensuring that you have a good successor to take over your business when you step out, because you inevitably will, either, to go and pursue another interest, or maybe you just, at the end of the day, you retire. So you want your business to be able to outlive you. You want to have structures in place also, so that when you're not there, things get done. You have a board that supports you, a board that brings to bear skills and competencies that your organization needs, that will hold you as a business owner accountable and ensure that you do what you say you will do, and ensure that you reach the objectives that you do reach. So those are a few of the examples of the reasons why you should. Business leadership is important.
Now, looking at Nigeria's business environment, do you think we have got some good leaders?
Oh, certainly. We've got a lot of good leaders. There are a lot of businesses and that's where entrepreneurs can actually learn from. Businesses that have been successful, people that have established brands that are still in existence. I found out recently that Chela Rams has been in Nigeria since 1923. I think it was. They must be doing something right. And that's why they're still in business. There are organizations that have been set up and other organizations that do provide the same service, or probably were even doing much better at the time, no longer exist.
So for such company to still exist, that means, or perhaps they must have got a good leader, not a good manager.
Certainly. They were focusing on the long term. It's often said, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with other people. So the ability to carry other people along, to have a clear vision, to get everybody aligned to that vision, and the capacity to motivate them so that the organization, once you've communicated the vision and everybody understands it and aligns with it, you find that even regardless of the level of the person within the organization, they can very easily recognize if this business is in line with our future direction or not. So you don't necessarily have to spend as much effort in creating enforcing the structures and the systems. The people are empowered within the organization. Even your customers, when you tell them this is our direction, this is where we're going, they will hold you accountable. They'll say, you said you want to be a leader in this area, but we don't see that you're doing this. Did you realize that in this area this is what our needs are, but you're not satisfying our needs? So communicating that and getting everybody aligned outside the organization and within the organization actually helps you to create a business that lasts.
All right, so we're looking at the art and the act of leadership. So what is the art of leadership and what is the act of leadership?
Okay, really, when we say art and act, is we're trying to focus people on the fact that leadership is not a position. It is a system of actions. It's actually, it can be learned. It's a system of actions that can actually be learned. It's different from, you were made the MD of a company. Obviously, you will not be appointed an MD except you've demonstrated the capacity to show, to a track record, capacity to deliver results. But the act of leadership is really bringing about positive change. What can you do to move people from where they are now to a better place. You know, in terms of business, I want to I want to do events, and I want to be one of the leading events people in Nigeria or in Lagos. So one of the things you're looking at is what is the current state? How can I move things from where they are now to where they could be? You know, what you have to take risks. You have to be a risk taker. But it's about action. It's focusing people on the fact that leadership is not passive. Leadership is not a position. Leadership actually is about acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just have to take a short break. I'll be back with that discussion.
Thank you.
Well, we'll take a short break now. When we return, we will continue with this conversation. To stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television. And of course, I still have Ms. Iyadunni Olumide, the Executive Director, LEAP Africa, still standing by. Thank you very much for sticking on.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were talking about or trying to differentiate between the art and the act of leadership. So where does courage come in leadership? Is it about the act or is it about the art?
Well, courage is really, I think when you speak about courage, you speak about acting really. Courage is the confidence. I think you can describe courage as confidence to undertake an action really. And as a leader, one of the things that is required is courage to go against the grain. Because if it has been done before, you have to believe in the possibility of what you're doing. And you have to have the courage to stand by your convictions. You have to be a risk taker as a leader, because whatever change, you know, leaders basically deal with change, and whatever change you encounter, you will have to have the capacity to motivate people, and that's really where courage comes in. There are other qualities that essentially supports a leader in being able to bring about change. Another thing is how well can you motivate people? How well can you communicate your vision to people? How well can you get the people to buy into what you're saying? And the only way you can do that is if as a person you have integrity. So what you say lines up with what you do. You actually have ethics and people believe that you will do the right thing, so they're willing to line up behind you. And they hold you accountable. You must be accountable as a leader to the people that follow you. So those are the things that basically ensure that within a business context and even beyond business, because personal leadership precedes corporate leadership or precedes business leadership, that you as a person can lead yourself. You can actually show that you have the qualities of a leader. You can actually act in the interest of people beyond yourself. So a leader looks beyond their own personal self-interest or their own personal gains to the gains of the greater organization in the case of business leadership.
So do we have a born leader, or do we have to learn to be a leader?
We believe at LEAP that no one is born a leader. It's not a DNA characteristic. It's actually an act. So anybody can be a leader. Anybody can be trained to be a leader once you understand what leadership means, and that's why we bring together people in training sessions to explain to them and help them understand what it means to be a leader, how to act leadership